Yeah, that's good stuff. That's interesting, Cody. Well, a lot to learn through all that. That's a good experience. Um, Anything else you want to share on that? You guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas?
Cody, on that, the recent one you were saying, the listing broker had given you permission, he just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, man. Stick your foot in your mouth and you have to pick that up with your broker. That's
They,
fun.
they continued coming after me with some pretty hardcore accusations and choice words, calling me all sorts of names after I sent them proof that they even approved it. And I was so nice. I was like probably overly nice to where it made them upset,
Yeah.
because that's how I am. And they just kept going. So I just stopped responding because it didn't matter. I followed the rules. I deleted their ad because they were clearly upset. It didn't matter to me. I have 70 of them or something running at a time.
Mhm.
So one's not gonna. We had no leads from that one even.
Yeah.
It
Right
wasn't
on.
like it was a big deal. And our ads consist of their photos, their property description, and their contact information. So it's not like we're manipulating too much.
Oh, what do you guys do with in that case, like the MLS photos? Are you cutting out the logo from the MLS on there? The
I get them
watermark?
from. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But they're not Iris's photos. They're the photographer's photos, technically.
Well, but if you're pulling them from Iris, they're whatever. Are you getting them directly from the agent? I think is what Kyle's asking. Are
No,
they
and I don't get them from Iris either. I get them from Zillow.
okay?
Does Zillow have the watermark on there?
They might, but I don't do it myself, so I don't know.
I
Well,
had
there's
one
another
agent.
way to be able to track, and I know when I've taught stuff about how to do this, especially for open houses. Of course, that's evolved and now to like doing videos for the houses and stuff.
I mean,
Was it
technically, the for the listing photos, if you look at like I use Boxwood photos, if you look at how you purchase them, it's a very limited licensing agreement. You're not giving them to anyone else to use for any reason. The owners technically can't post them to their Facebook for promotion. There's like quite a bit of rules because it's residential limited licensing use only. You have to use a commercial. You have to click the commercial licensing button when you purchase them, which jacks up the price quite a bit
hmm.
if you want access to use them.
Well,
So that's probably something that most agents aren't considering either, is every single photo they purchase is a temporary licensing use. And it's up to the photographer to come after you.
huh? Yeah. Don't piss off your photographers. Pay
I
them. Pay them on time. That's cool.
Yeah. So what else is going on in business for everyone? Or what's not?
Yeah, I got a thing to kick around. I'm going to this. It's like I think it's mostly primarily a real estate investment like conference this weekend. And my goal is to be like an agent that's networking with these other people that want to invest in real estate that are not agents. And so I was thinking about like what strategy would be best to, I don't want to be. It's actually like a Christian conference, but it's built around like investment stuff. And so I don't want to be like come off as sleazy, sales guy type thing, which is not my flow anyways, but just trying to figure out, okay, what's my go-to, like my elevator pitch, like it's probably going to be mostly people from Colorado. They're a ministry based out of Colorado Springs, Woodland Park area, but most be Colorado people and some outside people flying in, I'm sure. But I was just trying to think of like, all right, referral stuff, like just become their point person for real estate here. And yeah, I've got a guy for that type of, context or what. But what would you guys do if that was you?
What's your end goal from the
Is
conference specifically?
Yeah, I'm looking at as I mean, I love learning. I think I watched last year's online and picked up a couple things. They cover a wide variety of topics, but most of the stuff I already knew from just being a real estate investor myself. So my goal is like to pick up some clients as just normal clients and network in that regard.
I think
Okay, people that are ready to buy or sell real estate.
Yeah, I mean, mostly I think to
Mostly
get
invest
buy.
in real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
Investors, and you want to be the go-to guy for them.
Yeah, like if they're not connected, or they're going to be getting all this information about why you should be buying real estate and how there's a great opportunity over these next 12 months or whatever. And so I want to strike while the iron's hot, they're just being, that pump's being primed right now. Like, ooh, I need to get into this, and I want to be the guy. Oh, I happen to be a realtor, and I'm an investor myself. Let's partner on something or whatever.
Is this real estate investing focused or just investing focused?
It's real estate investing focused.
Well, then they're all there to hear what you have to tell them, I would expect.
Yeah.
Which
They'll have like a lawyer that speaks some on like asset protection stuff, but most of it is like a real estate bent.
if you listen to anything Jeff teaches, it's ask questions and come from contribution, right? So, and that's just with sales, right? So ask people, what do you guys have any investment properties already? What are you hoping to learn while you're here? Just the questions that are going to elicit some sort of response that you can provide value within. That's kind of what I find at some of the investor groups I go to, even hosted by mortgage lenders and realtors here, is people just want to talk and nobody knows anyone else and they just want to talk to somebody. So just talk to people and be friendly. Ask them the same questions that you're probably wondering about people, which is, how many properties do you own? Oh, you don't? You're just looking to get started? That's so exciting, right? Find something to be excited about with them, and then it's going to come up.
Yeah.
It always comes up, right? You're talking about real estate investing. Yeah, I own some properties as well. My brothers and I have done very good at it. And, now I actually got my real estate license because we just loved it so much. It changed our family's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys looking in Northern Colorado? That's crazy. That's where I'm from, right?
Yeah.
That, and I find at most of those events, realtors all talk to each other, not to buyers and sellers.
That's such a good point, Cody. That's such a great point. And to your first point, yeah, Kyle, be more interested than interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Be more interested in what people have to say, what their stories are. One of the best lines ever. And are you familiar with the DISC profile?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody who's on the high, like in the I range, right? They have a high eyes above the median line. All you have to say, if you say, so tell me about yourself. TMAY. Gene Frederick calls it Tamay or something. Tammy, he calls it. And I always give him crap. I'm like, there's no A after the T. It's tell me about yourself. TMAY. There's a high DC right here. Tell me about yourself. And they will just go on forever, right? The high S's, the high C's, it'll be very short. The high D's, it'll probably be very short as well, and really about them and what they do. And you're going to get a lot from a high D. That's a great question to find out where to kind of go next with your level of conversation with them. Like somebody who's more like an S or C. If you guys haven't taken a DISC, go to, I'll put this in the chat. You can go get a free DISC.
Is it limited or full?
What do you mean? Whoops.
Some of the free DISC profiles are like 10 or 15 questions, and the real one's like 15 minutes of questions.
This one will probably take you 15 minutes.
Okay.
There's also, and this not a shameless plug, but you guys can go see this funnel that I've built, which I released on Friday. If you were in Workplace, you may have seen it in a group. Like I've just released it, and I got 7 leads from it for potential coaching clients, which was really cool. Not totally the point, but you can go get a DISC. And what I'm offering, because Success is providing the DISC for free. I'm providing an analysis. I will sit down with you and go over it and give you a full assessment. So I've learned and been trained, and I practice on how to do these in a way where the client leaves going, holy like, I didn't realize that. Wow, that's what's been holding me back. Oh, that really is who I am, and I should embrace it. Like these big awakenings and ahas. So if you guys want to go do that, you can also hack the funnel so you can see how I've done that. If you are interested in building something similar for agent attraction or buyer attraction, seller attraction, Kyle, for you, investor attraction. So I don't want to go too off subject on that, but that's one way to do it. And again, be more interested than interesting. And like Cody said, it will come about.
Mhm.
It will come about. You won't be cheesy and salesy and all that kind of stuff if you ask questions. The other thing is, and people think whoever controls the conversation is the person talking all the time. It's not. It's the person who's asking the questions, because you're gathering the information, you're gathering the data to be able to take that conversation wherever you want to. So I know that was a mouthful.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just typed in that link, or I just copied that link, but for some reason, it seems to just bring up like just a general like ClickFunnels page.
Ooh, that's not good. Maybe it's a different link. Okay, this is why I was it should, but I may have, it maybe disk something else. Thank you.
Yep.
While we're continuing that, I'll pull this up and get it.
Yeah, Kyle, while he's pulling that up, when I go to investor events, I usually just, hey, are you what do you do? Are you a lender? And then they're usually not. If they are, I end the conversation pretty quickly. 'Cause I already have a guy. But usually at those events, you just ask someone if they're a vendor, and if they're not, they'll start talking.
Mhm.
No, I'm just looking to buy my first place. We figure this would be a good place to start, and like they'll just spew. That's
Yeah.
that's what I find. I think I overheard sounded like you might have been a mortgage lender. Something like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, generally the realtors are the ones in a group talking, not doing anything to further their business.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you can figure out a story too, like you're going to hear me chirp about stories a lot. You'll start to hear me tell more of them too. That's what people are going to connect with. So when you find a point, like, and it'll start to become more natural as you hear these things and you're more observant about what people are talking about. And you'll notice, and a lot, we do this. Somebody will tell us something about themselves, and immediately the next person starts talking about themselves in that way. So if you're able to, obviously take that conversation and move it in the direction where you want to, you're going to get, oh, sorry, this thing just came up. Much better results. Getting people's contact information also, because you're going to meet it. If you do this, when you do this, guy, you're going to meet a lot of people. You want to be able to leave with their contact info. Don't bring any business cards. Don't be handing out your contact information. You need to get theirs. I mean, obviously, if somebody doesn't have something and it's the right thing, text them, but at least get their phone number,
Mhm.
and from there you can build. A lot of people are going to have their own cards. Say, you got a card? Let's keep in touch. It'd be great.
Mhm.
Kyle, you have a link card, right?
Yeah.
Just so you can set those up
Probably.
like 5 free profiles. So you could even change your profile for that event specific if you wanted. And
That's good.
and send that out. And what I do at open houses now, not that I've done a ton of them recently, but I got rid of the sign-in sheet because most of them are left blank, or at least or fake information. Is like the open houses. I'll get there a little bit early, take a quick video, upload it to YouTube, and then I'll say, you know what? I actually have a great video I could send you on this whole property, so you can take a look at it later. What's the best number for me to text that to? Oh, and what was your first name again? Hey John, it's Cody. Here's the tour to 123 Main Street. If you want to see any other properties, let me know. Set up some showings. And so
Nice.
using that and getting pretty much everyone's contact information, because you know their number is good because they received it in front of you and you just got their name.
Mhm.
So I've been using that same thing for open houses, but as for events too, I don't have personal cards anymore. Just texting people, hey, let me shoot you over my contact card. What's your cell phone? I'll get it to you right now. Then you have their cell phone number.
Mhm.
Confirm their name when you create their contact, and then it's done. So
Nice.
for those in-person events, you don't need anything. And like Jeff said, no personal cards. Use something digital and then text it to them because you know it went to them.
Mhm.
And then you have their contact info as well. Plus,
Yeah.
like the odds of you actually meeting somebody that's like, no way, you're a real estate agent. Oh my gosh, we're so ready to buy our investment property tomorrow. Can you help us? It's probably not going to happen. It could.
Yep.
And the more people you talk to, the better your chances are. But you're going to have conversations with people. And if you ask for their contact info and you've built the right rapport, your conversion rate will be 100%. And now you was when the real work starts, and that's your follow-up. And
Mhm.
that is, and I can help you with this too on creating your sequence of follow-up and them getting to know you and hearing more about your stories, right? Things that you've done specific to like whatever is in that realm. You have things in common. You said it's a Christian group,
Mhm.
all real estate investors. You'll know after if it's mostly male or female. You'll know probably the overall level of how many people are going to be there.
Last year, I'd say there's probably like, just from the video, it looked like maybe 250 or so.
Okay, that's a pretty big event. You know,
Yeah.
you can even talk to 10, 15% of that's 25, 30 people to leave with. So do you have a goal? Like how many cards would you want to leave with?
Yeah.
How many contacts that you can come home and put into your CRM and say, that was worthwhile. That
Tripping
was
on.
cool. And then I'll work on the next part of it.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think 20 would be a solid takeaway, you know. $200, I think, was the event, maybe. So $10 for a good lead, like face-to-face lead. Yeah, I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
That's primed and ready, that's thinking about it, that's already moving towards it. Obviously, or they wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Ask me next week how I did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can share that with us. That would be really cool. That'd be an awesome share, which I know we usually start the group with some shares, and got right into it because Cody had a really cool story. So yeah, we'll make sure next week, Kyle, that we have the share. I'm curious to see. Good luck with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, good for you, especially to get out there and get in front of people and have
Mhm.
conversations. It's the key.
Yeah, that's good. And those people might kind of take the idea potentially from the open house that I take videos ahead of time, maybe make a graphic on Canva or something that's like 3 first-time home investor tips or something like that, or a quick video, something that you can have to share to people that's an actual point of value.
That's good.
So like I just did that. I was trying to redo after Jeff was talking about funnels a few weeks back. I was redoing some of my emails to include like PNG graphics in them that would pop up, and putting some of the words into graphics so that it was a little prettier to look at and easier to see at a glance. And now I've just saved those to my phone that I can text out and ask people if they need something specific, just shoot it out to them. But yeah, video is one, or yeah, some static image that you could put like a couple maybe key resources onto it, maybe something from links and bigger pocket stuff, or come up with an intro video that you have, or just create an intro video ahead of time.
Yeah, and you mentioned these are all and there's so many spin-offs that you could have, that these are mostly Colorado. So I mean, you have resources to pull reports at least once a month, if not every week. Now I know that may sound like extreme, but honestly, if you can go meet 20, 25 people now, it's more of, now, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole on this, but I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Also consider checking with a lender ahead of time. So like my friend Sam Skipworth over at Cross Country has some pretty cool investor programs that haven't quite rolled out. They're going to roll out this week or maybe next. Having something that's not released yet, it's pretty exciting to have, especially when it's they have a hard money loan that's coming out that's more favorable than going to a hard money lender. So that could be really interesting for people looking to invest. Might be worth giving him a call, hearing about it, and then using it as a reason to stay in touch when it launches with those people.
Right. Another touch point there.
Yeah, because that's like the big point, that most people don't know how to analyze a deal or where to get started, but ultimately access to capital is one of the biggest things for investors. They don't know where to get it, what kind of money they need, and if you can be the bridge between that, you're pretty important.
Yeah, is that your bread and butter? Like investors, Kyle? Is that your?
No, I do want to start kind of aiming there though, just because like I said, yeah, my own experience with it, kind of fell into it. My father-in-law is a broker in Tulsa, and so we did some flips, and it's just like I get it. I mean, I obviously believe in real estate, and
you know it.
Something
you know it.
Yeah, it's
you
natural.
Know how to do it. Like
yeah.
For somebody who has no idea how to do it, who might want to do it, you're a perfect person.
Yeah.
They have to know about it first, and they have to know why you and not the other 10,000 of you that are out there.
Mhm.
No different than why somebody should work with Cody or Wes or myself or as a real estate agent when there's over 1 million of us out there. Like, why us, right?
Mhm.
And that's where that, like, your story and your stories, like, what a great question for people too. Like, oh, you own your investment, how many, like, most people want to know, how many do you have, like that kind of, oh yeah. So tell me, like, what's your biggest horror story? I'm a landlord
Mhm.
too, I get it, I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah.
great resource for content creation. I think I brought this up before. Ask Socrates, I believe it's called Ask
Mhm.
Socrates.
Yeah.
Shared it before. So you can go in and say, basically find out, like, what are the biggest questions that investors are asking on the internet? And if you have the answers to those questions when you go to this conference, there's probably a good chance that it's going to come up, especially with you already having the knowledge.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And then from there, obviously you have, a list of blog topics, but I don't want to go down too far to rabbit hole. You can go to any AI software and get those. Pretty
Right.
easy to do. So cool. Well, was that helpful, Kyle?
Yeah, it's great.
That's good.
It's
Good
good. I
idea.
was thinking in the shower this morning. I was like, I have to come up with some plan. So, and I have a video done. I mean, it's been done. I haven't pushed it out because I was waiting on like captions or music, but it's like 99% done of telling the story of my brother and I buying this property up here, doing a cash out refi, pulling everything out, still cash flowing. And walks through the numbers. I'm like, this would be perfect as a point of reference, YouTube channel, and boom. So I'm going to get that out before the weekend hits. So
Cool. So I love it. 99% done, 0% released.
seriously.
It's all good. Here is something to check out. We talked about this last week. If you're going to be creating, short video content, there's a great tool to use. Friend of mine built it. Cody, did you check it out? Wes, did you check it out? The Syllabi?
No, I haven't checked it out yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Why isn't this not opening? It's incredible. It's a AI video script generator. So you put
Oh
in
yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
you put in like your keyword, you put in your audience, like keywords could be like real estate investing, fix and flip, your keywords, and then your audience, investors. And it will give you not only the topics for what you can create, and it'll give you all the different SEO results on how many searches there are for these topics. It'll also generate the actual script for you, with a hook story offer. They also use the Agitate AD something. It's a all marketing formula. It goes back, and it just works. It goes back a long time. Agitate. Anyways, well, I'll put it in the email when I come up with it. Let me get that link. I don't know why my computer is being such a pain to do today. Here we go. So this is my friend Austin's company. He came on actually a few weeks ago. So Kyle, if you want, I have the recordings. I need to send you guys the membership link. I was waiting for something. So you can go watch these old recordings. And Austin came on and he shared like specifically what he's doing and how he's doing it. And I'm just waiting for this thing to open, and it's not. So just give me a sec and I'll share it in there if that's something that you guys want to check out. So what else? What do you got going on, Wes?
Nothing too much new right at the moment.
Let's see what else we got. Could do.
What systems are you guys using right now in your business or in your personal lives that are that make a difference?
I got lots, but that's always my thing. Kyle, Wes, what do you got first?
Basically nothing right now. I'm just looking at trying to get going on the ClickFunnels stuff, as I talked before with Jeff about. So that's what I'm looking to get started with.
How do you want to use it? Because we can reverse engineer this. Like, what do you want to use it for? Is it sales? Is it like, what are you trying to do?
I wanted to use it both for
How about one at a time?
for real estate leads.
Okay, for buyers and sellers.
Yeah, for buyers
Okay.
and sellers.
Okay.
So that's number one.
Okay. Have you gone through .com secrets at least the first few chapters?
Yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way through that.
When did you start it?
I started it several months ago and then I drifted away for a few, and then I've been back to it the last several weeks here.
Okay, cool. So what do you need to do to get started? Based on what you've read and what you've learned. I'm going to help you. I just need to find out like where you're at.
Well, I guess I kind of still need to, we talked a little bit the other day about, narrowing in on some ideal clientele that you want to work with. But I think I probably need to still put some more thought in on that to get myself really narrowed down on that and figure out what kind of character I'm portraying for myself within the whole idea of it.
Yep.
Where do people come in for that ClickFunnels?
What's that, Cody?
People come in from, like, where are they signing up from or clicking from?
And that's the next piece. And yet, Wes, you're on the, and Cody, totally. And I'm going to get to this, and I know Wes will as well. You have to figure out who your audience is first. Because if you're providing you can have the right message to the wrong audience and you'll get nothing. And the message has to be from you, like, who are you and what is your audience? Like, what do you like? Wes and I talked about the attorney piece, right? Like working with attorneys. Wes is an attorney. That's his crew, right? Work within your crew. Kyle's going to meet with his crew. That's who he wants to work with. That's the audience. So the messaging has to be specific for that. So, Wes, we already have that, man. Go back through the original, like there's a couple exercises that Russell says to do at .com secrets. Go do this. Like, that means go do it. A lot of times we're like, yeah, I'll go do that later. I want to read more and figure this out. And it's like, no, you got to go back and do it. It's an exercise. Get a pad and piece of paper, pen and a piece of paper, and sit down and do it and rack your brain. And all of a sudden the stuff starts to flow and you're like, oh, now I just need to fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then it becomes a lot easier because now you understand, okay, those are my people. Now my messaging, what do those people want? Like, attorneys who want to buy or sell homes want the same thing as everybody else. But if you're in their crew, doesn't it just make sense to work with another attorney? Right?
Yeah.
For Kyle, doesn't it make sense for them as an investor to work with another investor who has the ability to help them because he's got a real estate license and more intimate knowledge of the market because it's what he does. He's the professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you have enough there to really pour into, Wes. So often we want to like build this massive, huge business by trying to appease everybody. And I have that even with my individual coaching clients. I'm like, who's your ideal client? They're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, who do you want to work with? Buyers and sellers. Well, which ones? It's always all of them. Like you can't work with all of them, and you don't need to either. You just need a small percentage. And why don't you have that small percentage? Wouldn't it make the most sense to work with the people that you already connect with, and you don't have to put on this front? Like Kyle, you were saying, I don't want to feel like you don't need to. You're one of them. You're there as an investor. So Wes, you show up as an attorney who provides real estate services.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, especially agents, now that we're having this conversation probably think, oh, well, they're an attorney. They don't need a real estate agent, which technically they don't, if I'm correct. Isn't that right, Wes? Like, didn't you?
Well, if they're gonna be, I mean, if they're Colorado still requires a license if you're gonna be, carrying out like realtor type duties for somebody else. But I mean, anybody doesn't necessarily need one for themselves if they're willing to do all the things that are, tied to it, I guess. But
Which an attorney who does like divorce, what are they good at, Wes? Divorce. That's their
Yeah.
specialty. They probably know some stuff about real estate because they're dealing with people getting divorced and they have to. But I can tell you from experience as a real estate agent and working with couples who are getting divorced, and especially in the midst of a short sale, negotiating with the banks, the divorce attorneys don't know crap about that stuff.
Oh,
Nor
yeah.
do they really care.
Generally all of them, anybody's knowledge is very specific to whatever they're working in. Mostly you don't find a trust and estates attorney doesn't really know much about personal injury or vice versa. Any of that kind of stuff. They're pretty compartmentalized, most of them.
Right. And you understand that. I do because my stepmom, which by the way, her father just passed away, 104. He was 104 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, hey, I'm kind of sad. But it's like the guy lived like too much. Anyways, so I want you guys to all think about this. I mean, I know this is like a Wes and I conversation, but I want you guys to realize, like, where does this fit into what I'm doing? Like, I know, Kyle, I've been able to bring you into the mix specifically, but Cody, like, and you have a good business too. Like, you have enough and you have a wide variety of clients. And yet these principles still apply, especially for an agent getting their business started. Because imagine if every client you had in your business now was exactly who you wanted. All that drama, all that crap that you had to deal with, especially in these recent transactions and agents getting mad at you and stuff. Like, so I know that was a lot too. But Wes, you have that. Now it's just a matter of answering Cody's question. Remember what your question was, Cody? Not to hijack it.
Yeah, where do the people come from? Like,
Hey.
how are they getting into your funnel?
Yeah, you're gonna get them in your funnel, Wes.
Um,
Based on what we just talked about.
yeah, I'm not really sure, I guess.
I guess is the intention like a Google or Facebook ad or something?
Well, I'm talking all organic. I mean, you can always go, if you have good copy, you can do your ads. The reason why people lose money on their ads is their copy sucks and nobody has a reason to click on it. So don't people need to get what you're sharing?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're an attorney and you're also a real estate. So what are some lead magnets? That's what Cody's asking. And again, this goes back to the .com secrets when he talks about you need to come up with a lead magnet. Once you know your ideal client, you've established exactly who they are. There's another step to establish where do they go? Where are they congregating? Right? So like for me as a coach, I'm looking at where's Tom Ferry getting all his people? Where are Tony Robbins getting his people? Where's Brian Buffini getting his people? I mean, I hack all their funnels. I'm on their Facebook pages. I'm seeing what they're doing and watching all that stuff. That's the second piece of it. And then the third piece is you sharing your story and your message to connect with that audience that you already know what it is, where they're congregating. So you need to come up with a lead magnet, something like, a home seller's guide for attorneys, a home buyer's guide for attorneys, a real estate investor's guide for attorneys, co-authored by Kyle Mack. Huh, there's an idea, a cool partnership. You guys, especially with AI stuff,
you to target attorneys.
What's that?
And Facebook does allow you to target those professions.
Ooh, it does? Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. but with selling specific, yeah, anyways, that's a good point, Cody.
Well, because they have really limited targeting categories, especially this last update they made.
Yeah. So there's your steps, Wes. I think the biggest thing, I know the biggest thing is to sit down and do the exercises.
Mhm.
And then you get a 14-day free trial. You got the free trial before, didn't you?
No, not yet. I've still got the tab sitting
Oh,
up
shoot.
on my computer.
Yeah, most of it. I think I had it like 3 times before I actually did anything with it. I just kept using different email addresses. But what happened was I was like, ooh, wait a minute. And then I was like, oh, I figured it out. And then, so then you're
Question.
really ready to go. I mean,
Question
Great.
for Wes, too. Is there a database like realtors where you can get all the email addresses to licensed attorneys in Colorado?
Um,
My guess would be yes, but have you heard of
yeah,
it?
probably. Yeah.
Because if you could do those targeted ads that Jeff just talked about, there's no opportunity for lookalike audiences anymore. But you can buy, if you can buy all their email addresses, you can plug them right into Facebook, and it will only advertise to them.
Okay.
so Cody can help you with your if you wanted to start doing some ads, like he knows that stuff.
Yeah, I had someone on my mastermind group that she did it for like Jif brand and Tide and a bunch of major brands. She's been testing it for real estate for 10 years. She gave us every step. I have the notes I can share
Yeah.
of like every button to click, what days not to run it on, what days to run it on for real estate ads. And she got her ad cost down like 27 cents a lead.
Wow.
And that wasn't targeted. That was a general audience also. So with a general, like with a targeted audience like that, you're just guaranteeing it only goes to attorneys. So that
Yeah.
way your messaging, you know exactly who your messaging is going towards, and they don't know it's only going to them.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that there's the spinoff. I know it's like, because some people go, yeah, but it's so limited. There's only so many attorneys. It's like, yeah, but what are you doing now? Like, wouldn't it be great to have 2 or 3 attorneys that you're working with versus no one at all, or a random one that comes in here and there? Because they're going to tell more people, and that's like lays the foundation for what you actually like doing. And then you become a specialist and not a generalist. Right? And then the attorneys are talking to the attorneys, and who's the realtor here and who's the realtor there. Like, you become that guy, and you can become that guy in the space where now all of a sudden there's other attorneys out there potentially with EXP or outside even, especially, that are like, that's the guy that does the real estate and attorney stuff.
Mhm.
Like, that's the guy who did that thing. And then next thing you know, now you're attracting agents too. So there's a lot to unpack there. I do need to get going. Do you guys want to stick on? Cody, I can make you the host.
I'm good. I'm gonna cold call today.
Fun.
That's
Freaking
my next job.